So I need to talk to these Eagle fans about why we're not making trades like this. And trust me, there are plenty of reasons, and I think people really need to understand the big picture of things moving forward, especially in this 2023 offseason.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. We're into this offseason, early stage of this offseason right now. Not a lot has happened with the Philadelphia Eagles, and no moves have really been made yet, okay? When it comes down to it, you're seeing players that are going to be traded or teams that are kind of, getting rid of these contracts. And Jalen Ramsey, a trade came up. Jalen Ramsey getting traded. And obviously Eagles fans are going to be like, yes, let's do it. Let's bring him here. And I understand all of that, especially Jalen Ramsey. The Rams are dumping contracts. Ramsey is going to want a new deal. And he already said he wants a new deal upon trade. We all know that this is not going to happen. And I think going into the draft, there are so many stud players, okay? It's loaded this year with cornerbacks that could start. Okay, it's already enough that you can't do anything with Slay's contract unless you restructure him, and you could save $12 million by restructuring him. But I think you have to add more bodies at cornerback regardless. Not even really mid-tier signings. I think you need to get a bona fide starter in the draft, and I think you have to go and get more bodies because I can't really trust that with Avonte Maddox's health, and I don't really have James Bradbury coming back, at all. So there's a lot of different things the Eagles can do right now. But when it comes to Jalen Ramsey, really since he left the Jags, went to the Rams, really after 1 year with the Rams, I thought he really fell off. That's just me. I think he totally fell off in some aspects. Not saying he's not good anymore, but, there were times where he got exposed a lot in past years, in the past, couple years. So we need to trust the draft. Defensively, we really need to trust it. You're not going to be able to sign everybody. It's just not going to happen. The Eagles only have $7.5 million in cap space, $8.5 million, between $7 to $8 million. That's all they have under the cap. So with some moves being made and some restructures, yes, and obviously Jalen Hurts' contract comes to effect as well, I think they can move some money around, save some money, and not make a big deal out of it, where they can have $32 million and have a little bit of money to spend if they really have to. I'm not saying you're not going to make any bona fide moves with $32 million, but you could do a few things where you can have a few short-term contracts or whatnot, go into this draft and really focus on your defense if that's what you really want to do. And then you go into this draft, guys, and this is why we have to stop panicking and wanting to take the trade immediately. And that's another problem with us fans sometimes is, oh my God, we're going to have a hole at this position. We can't have it. Let's go trade for Jalen Ramsey. It's not as easy as everyone thinks. You got to give up draft capital. So the draft capital might not be the problem. It's paying him that's going to be the problem. Whatever Jalen Ramsey wants, I don't know what he's going to want. But, it's probably not going to be cheap. And at the same time, if you have a heavy loaded draft at cornerback, you really can't pass up on it with having 2 first-round picks this year on top of it, which you don't have any picks after the 4th round. So 3 of your picks going into this year have really got to pan out, immediate impacts going into the 23 season. I mean, the cornerbacks in this draft are studs. There's studs almost everywhere between Christian Gonzalez and Devin Witherspoon and Joey Porter. I mean, they're just everywhere. You got studs all over the place. And like I said, don't just go and make these trades. And that's the reason why we can't do trades like this. They can only happen. Look, I don't mind trading for players, but trading for players and have to pay them big-time money. And I don't know what Ramsey's looking for, but this is for the corner position in general. We don't know what we have. Even if you trade for Ramsey, what do you have behind Ramsey and Maddox and Slay right now? There's really nothing behind there. They have to add a couple bodies regardless. I'm not saying a couple bodies through the draft. They at least have, get the best player, at least one of the best corners, at least between the first to the 2nd round, if that's the case. But I'd rather get one at 10 if they can do it. But they have to make a decision on that. And when it comes to trades, there's a price you're going to have to pay for it. And is it worth your future? Is it worth what you're going to have to give up and then pay somebody all this money? There's way too many free agents on defense. There's no way they got to put too much into that position right now. Draft somebody in the first round, get one of the best corners in the draft. This way, you'll have your fifth-year option. You can literally you're guaranteed that if you want to take that fifth-year option, you'll have a guy guaranteed for 5 years in Philadelphia. And that's what we really need, because then you got to think of now and you got to think of the future, because if Slay's contract is up after this year and Bradbury's gone, you know what I mean? You're going to be down. I think Maddox is a free agent after this year as well. So potentially, you're going to have to redo you have to redo your cornerback position going into next year with only 2 second-round picks, 2 second-round picks in the 24 draft. So there's a lot to really think about when it comes to, what to spend and who to trade with. And obviously Eagle fans get very, they get twitchy over it, and they're like, let's just make a trade. Let's just fill the spot immediately. They got to do their due diligence, and the more you draft well, the less money you have to spend. And it's true. Look what the Eagles did from the last time we won a Super Bowl until, obviously, let's just say the 21 season, okay? They were restructuring older vets nonstop every single year. Bigger, obviously, more guaranteed money for the players now. Big cap hits down the road. We got to the 21 season and we were $73 million over the cap. You know what I mean? The more you draft well, you're not going to have a problem with cap space. You know what I mean? If you think about it. If you draft very well at a lot of positions, you won't need a whole bunch of free agents. And you don't build your team off free agency. Free agency is supposed to help certain position groups that you're not going to be able to draft in the draft. Okay, that you're not going to cover for the year, so you pay the extra money that you're going to pay for free agents. You'll always overpay free agents regardless. Okay, so that's what I think the Eagles are going to do. I wouldn't touch no free agent corner unless Bradbury comes back for cheap, which is not going to happen. I'm not looking to go get a free agent corner. I'm done with the free agent corners. I'm done. Over the years we've done it. It's failed. I don't like it. I think it's one of the most expensive positions, but at the same time, I'm just not into it. And with a corner-heavy draft this year, you got 2 first-round picks, and you're in good position at 10. At 10, 100%, you're good in that position. And look, some of you guys might not even want corner in the first round. Some of you guys are going to want, Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, or some of these other guys that are going to be available for different positions. So see how the draft board goes. But once we get through free agency a little bit, we get through some of the aspects of what we could do here, then things will start to make sense. But you don't want to go and just start trading for guys and start just being way too. I'm not saying that's not really being aggressive. I don't want to just start making a panic move just because there's a hole at cornerback. Okay, first guy available, Ramsey. We got to trade for him. We got to just give up whatever. No, that's not how it goes, man. We really need to redo this position. Slay's getting older. He's got one more year left. Maddox is a free agent after next year. Bradbury's probably going to be gone. You got to start rebuilding this for the future as well. So as much as everyone wants to get to another Super Bowl next year, or this year, I should say, it's not easy getting back to that game. It's not, and I think this team is still going to be good next year, depending on how they format what they want to do offensively, where their offense still looks really good right now on paper. Defense, obviously missing some pieces, and a lot of short-term deals that Howie made and some of these signings he had this past year. This team was set up for a lot of success, and I blame a lot of it on coaching. I think we already know why. So that's really all I want to kind of talk about was this, a lot of Eagles fans were like, oh, Howie, get the Jalen Ramsey trade done. It's not going to happen. There's so much more talent. You got to think of the long run. I mean, I understand you want immediate impact and immediate success where you have a guy that we don't have to see if he's going to be good. We know if Jalen Ramsey's going to come in and do really well, then he's going to come in and do really well. But to be honest with you, I think we could literally draft somebody this year and under the wing of this defense with Slay and all of them and teaching the guy the ropes and getting him acclimated. I think we're going to do really fine at cornerback if they actually get one in the first round and get, a few of these guys, one of these few guys that are even around. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot of fun. Howie has his work cut out for him. I think we could tell that right now. And we'll see. So you guys let me know what you guys think about the Jalen Ramsey trade. What corner would you draft in the draft this year? Who are you interested in? Just give me your thoughts on the process at the cornerback position with Bradbury leaving. And obviously your thoughts on a Jalen Ramsey trade if it makes sense. I respect anybody's opinions. In my opinion, it's a waste of time. Do not make a panic move and trade for guys. And I'm not saying you can't trade for people, but when you have to pay a contract, God knows what it's going to cost. We still got to pay our quarterback. We still got to pay Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And that's, and he might even get franchise tagged at this point. So you got to be careful when you look at things like this. Don't turn to the Rams where they have to now dump all their contracts now because they're running out of draft picks. They gave away first-round picks the last 2 years. I mean, you don't want to get in that situation where you're always over the cap every single year. And to be honest with you, we're actually under the cap right now, which is really good, which rarely, like in past years, we really never are under the cap. We usually owe money before anything. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing to look at and see what the future is going to be and what this position is going to be down, looking forward. So, guys, let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Shakes what up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.